Guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors guard makes bold proclamation ahead of next season. Golden State Warriors guard Brandon Bodie's brash confidence has rubbed some people the wrong way. Last season teammate Andrew Wiggins took exception to the then rookie questioning his decision-making. The team's fans believe he needs to let his play do the talking. That being said, his latest comments drew even more criticism, with the 21-year-old describing in detail how he's improved over the off-season. "I know that I've gotten better," Podzamski says on Willard and Dibs. "I can feel it, see it. Took out the floaters." The Santa Clara product says took out the hook shots, put in more mid-range stuff, more threes off the dribble and more threes off the catch. All things considered, Bodie's changes to his shot diet could lead to him becoming even more efficient next season. To that point, Podzamski made 41% of his floaters and 28.1% of his hook shots in 2023-24. However, he also converted just 31.3% of his mid-range opportunities and 35.8% of his catch-and-shoot threes. On the other end of the spectrum, he shot 45.5% from 330 to 66 on pull-up attempts, so whilst he made a commendable 45.4% of his field goal attempts and 38.5% of his three-point attempts last season, he could be looking to join the 50-40-90 club if he's also worked on his free throws after shooting 63.3% from the charity stripe. As a rookie, it might be doable. A career 77% free throw shooter in college, this is one of his most glaring weaknesses. After a roller coaster off-season, the Warriors' rotation likely has been set. Golden State will bring back most of last season's cast. However, Buddy Hield will replace Warriors legend Klay Thompson, who left the only NBA team that he's known this off-season. Anthony Melton will come in for Chris Paul, who the team waived this off-season. Kyle Anderson will take the place of Dario Kak, possibly opening up minutes for mainstay Kevin Looney. Podzamski, who Warriors owner Joe LeCabrec touted as an all-star caliber player, could be in line for a starting spot. Perhaps only Stephen Curry and Draymond Green can be penciled into the first unit. Nonetheless, when assessing the Warriors players who fit best next to Curry in the backcourt, Podzamski ranks high. He's more reliable than Wiggins. He's more of a playmaker than Moses Moody. Lastly, he's a superior defender to Hield and has better size than Melton. While PMK's seeming arrogance won't win over everyone, it doesn't change the facts. The jury is out on Lack's claims. Regardless, the soon-to-be second-year pro has a chance to be one of Golden State's most impactful players next season. Ranking 3 recent Warriors trade proposals from least disastrous to most disastrous. The Golden State Warriors may have missed out on Paul George and Lauri Markkanen in this off-season, but their aim to acquire another all-star level player should remain a priority over the coming months. Stephen Curry reaffirmed his ability to be one of their best players in the world. The recent Olympics, going for 17 threes and 60 points across the final 2 games to lead Team USA to another gold medal after missing out on Markkanen following his renegotiation and extension with the Utah Jazz, and with Curry showcasing his brilliance once again in Paris. Attention has turned to who else may be available for the Warriors in their attempts to find greater support for their 2x MVP. In a recent article, Stephen Noah of the Sporting News proposed 3 different trades to try and land Golden State more offensive talent, but just because a player may fill that void on paper doesn't mean it will specifically work for the Warriors. In reality, there's a reason they were so keen on George and Markkanen yet have little interest in Brandon Ingram or Zach LaVine. None of these 3 proposed trades are categorically great deals for Golden State. In fact, you could argue they're bad to the point of potential disaster. Let's rank them low, starting with the best one from a Warrior perspective. If adding James Den is the best of 3 proposed trades. It probably doesn't say much about the potential of the other 2, while the former MVP isn't trade eligible yet after only just resigning with the LA Clippers. This isn't the first time he's been flayouted as a name to monitor for Golden State if it's just about adding more offensive talent and in particular another shot creator. Then Harden makes some sense. Even at this diminished version, his production did drop last season but saw a spike in 6 playoff games where the 34-year-old averaged 21.2 points and 8.0 assists on 38.3% three-point shooting. Flipping Wiggins and Payton for Harden would be a major step backwards defensively, yet perhaps that's just what you sacrifice to ensure Curry doesn't have to carry too much of a burden on the other side of the ball. The Warriors would also be moving the remaining 3 years of Wiggins' contract for 2 years of Harden, the second of which is a player option. Giving up a first-round pick isn't ideal, but at least it conveys next season. And not further down the track, Golden State may consider that a Curry-Harden combination can be dynamic enough offensively to make them a playoff team. Is that in itself worth it, even if they don't figure to be a genuine contender? Mega trade proposed by 3 NBA teams sends Warriors $18 million. Staffer Dow: there is still time for the Warriors to make a significant move this offseason, but it will likely need to come on the NBA trade market. Bleacher Report: Greg Schwartz offered a wild 3-team trade proposal that has the Warriors reuniting with former forward Brandon Ingram. The deal involves the Warriors, New Orleans Pelicans and Portland Trail Blazers. Let's explore whether this trade makes any sense for the Warriors, Blazers and Pelicans. One question for the Warriors to consider is whether the team wants to sign Ingram to a new lucrative long-term extension. Ingram is heading into the final season of a 5-year $18.2 million contract. The forward is scheduled to have a $36 million hit to the salary cap in 2024 tons. 025. The Warriors have been hiding in plain sight as a landing spot for Ingram, the franchise where he spent the first 3 years of his career after being named the second overall pick in 2016 out of Duke. Schwartz wrote in August 15, 2024 story titled "A 3 Trade to Send Brandon Ingram Back to the Warriors and Give the Pelicans a Starting Center." Ingram averaged 20.8 points, 5.7 assists and 5.1 rebounds per game while shooting 35.5% from long range in 64 games last season. Ingram was selected by the Lakers with the number 2 pick in the 2016 NBA draft. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that familiarity is leading the Lakers to want to take a shot at the forward right now. A successful deal? I just don't see it. I don't see the Lakers having enough. For Law Marin, The Athletic's Jovan Buha commented on a July 16 edition of the Buha Block podcast, "I haven't heard of any interest with Brandon Ingram, so I don't see them going after these 2 guys. It looks like things are on track for Ingram to return to playing in a Pelicans uniform next season. I'm told the trade market for Brandon Ingram is limited," noted Shams Charania of The Athletic during an August 6 interview on the Pat McAfee show. New Orleans wants him to stay and he wants to stay too. The feeling around New Orleans is that he will be there and they are hoping he will be a part of this Pelicans team. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Brandon Ingram? Leave your opinion in the comments.